Madagascar's elite CAPSAT unit, once Rajoelina's power base, now turns against him. As soldiers escort protesters through the streets of Antananarivo, echoes of 2009 resurface. President Andry Rajoelina calls it an illegal power grab. But on an island with a history of coups, the line between protector and usurper is fading fast. Madagascar's President Andry Rajoelina announced on October 12th that an illegal and forceful attempt to seize power was unfolding, just a day after a group of soldiers joined thousands of anti-government protesters in the capital. In a statement released by the Presidency office said,
Presidency of the Republic wishes to inform the nation and the international community that an illegal and forceful attempt to seize power, contrary to the Constitution and democratic principles, has been initiated on national territory.
The official statement added that dialogue is the only way forward.
The President of the Republic reaffirms that dialogue is the only path and solution to resolve this crisis currently facing the country. He declares that any act of public property deterioration hinders the superior interest of the nation. The Malagasy people must remain united and prevent any attempt at destabilization and division that jeopardizes Madagascar's path towards development.
This comes as Madagascar's CAPSAT military unit said it was taking command of the nation's armed forces. An army officer, Colonel Solofiniaina Rampanarivo, said in a video statement,
"The urgency is the restoration of public order and the daily lives of all Malagasy people. We, the military, stand for the homeland. We protect the people and their property, and above all, we live peacefully within society. This is why the command of the Malagasy Army, whether air, land, or sea, is starting from here, from CAPSAT camp. Subsequently, we always urge all Malagasy people without distinction, and all of us, members of the armed forces, to cooperate to protect common goods so that there is no looting."
Earlier on October 11, protesters in Madagascar marched onto May 13th Square in Antananarivo for the first time since demonstrations erupted last month, this time under the protection of soldiers, UNN reported, citing Reuters. The protests, inspired by Gen Z movements in Kenya and Nepal, began on September 25th over severe water and electricity shortages. But they have since intensified into the biggest challenge to President Andry Rajoelina's rule since his 2023 re-election. Earlier that day, soldiers from the elite CAPSAT unit, which helped Rajoelina seize power in a 2009 coup, urged their comrades to disobey orders and support the youth-led demonstrations. Videos circulating online show troops calling on fellow soldiers to support the people. Military chiefs later met with troops to encourage dialogue, but footage showed some soldiers leaving their barracks to escort protesters to May 13th Square, a historic flashpoint for political uprisings that had been sealed off by authorities for weeks. Protesters are demanding Rajoelina's resignation, a national apology, and the dissolution of the Senate and Electoral Commission. The unrest has already turned deadly. The UN reports at least 22 people killed and more than 100 injured, though the government disputes these numbers. Rajoelina this week claimed the death toll stands at 12. In the turbulent world of Malagasy politics, few figures have proven as resilient or as controversial as Andry Rajoelina, Madagascar's president and one of Africa's youngest ever leaders. Born in 1974 in Antananarivo, Rajoelina's path to power was far from conventional. Before politics, he was a radio DJ and entrepreneur, best known for founding Viva, a popular media and events company that turned him into a household name. Charismatic, ambitious and media-savvy, Rajoelina quickly became a voice for Madagascar's restless youth, a generation disillusioned with corruption and stagnation. His political rise came amid a crisis. In 2009, at just 34 years old, he led a movement that ousted then-President Marc Ravalomanana following weeks of protests and deadly clashes. Backed by sections of the military, Rajoelina declared himself head of state, making him Africa's youngest leader at the time. But his ascent drew international condemnation, branded by the African Union and Western governments as a coup. For 4 years, Rajoelina led a transitional government isolated by much of the world. Aid was suspended, the economy crumbled, and poverty deepened. Yet, through it all, he cultivated a powerful image at home, that of a reformer standing up to political elites and foreign interference. In 2013, under pressure from the international community, he stepped down, only to make a comeback 5 years later. In 2018, Rajoelina won the presidency through democratic elections, defeating his old rival Ravalomanana in a tense and polarizing vote. His signature initiative, known as Initiative for the Emergence of Madagascar, aimed to transform the island nation into a regional economic hub. But his tenure has faced persistent criticism. Opponents accuse him of authoritarian tendencies, corruption, and mismanagement. Allegations of election irregularities have dogged his leadership, most recently in the 2023 presidential race, which the opposition boycotted, calling it unfair. Still, Rajoelina retains a strong support base, particularly among younger Malagasy who see him as a self-made leader, untethered from Madagascar's traditional political elite. In 2023, controversy deepened when reports emerged that Rajoelina held dual nationality, having acquired French citizenship in 2014. Under Madagascar's constitution, dual nationals cannot hold the presidency, a revelation that triggered legal challenges and public outrage. Rajoelina, however, brushed off the allegations, calling them politically motivated. Today, as Madagascar grapples with economic hardship, food insecurity and climate-driven crises, Rajoelina stands at a crossroads, celebrated by some as a visionary modernizer, condemned by others as a populist clinging to power.